We were on the first plane out of LAX after 9/11. We were the first plane to leave, to take off from LAX after that, which you could imagine the security around Los Angeles International Airport was like nothing you've ever seen before. It was, you know, body searches and frisking and luggage search. You know, you knew that life as we know it would never be the same again.
And me and Bubba had been up at the MTV Video Music Awards, which was the weekend before that.
And we flew out of New York, and it was weird because at that time we were able to go the entire way through the airport without even interacting with one human being.
And we both looked at each other like, this is a little crazy.
I mean, what is going to stop a terrorist from jumping on this plane? And sure enough, that was September 9th, 2 days later. Everything happened. New York, Shanksville, DC. It was horrible.
The most significant memory is just how surreal it all was. It didn't seem real. It seemed like a movie. You know, it was hard to imagine. I thought we were untouchable. It was a hard thing to try to wrap your brain around, and it still is a hard thing to wrap your brain around.
When I went home, when I finally did go home that day, it was so eerily quiet everywhere. There were no planes, everything had been grounded.
It was as if everybody went inside their house and there was just this silence.
And I remember all of the neighbors. We all kind of came out slowly but surely, and everybody sort of wanted to bond. You come together as a community.
I remember the sounds of the sirens. Watching the news coverage and listening to it on the radio, you could hear the reporters and the sirens echoing off the buildings in the background as they went through the streets of New York. It was just, to this day, when I hear a siren like that, it gets me.
The Alan Jackson song, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning, he sings a line about, in a crowded room, did you feel alone? And I always remember that room. That everybody still, even though we were packed like sardines, everybody felt like we're all on our own here, so what's going on?
My second memory is 2 days later. No matter where you went, there were American flags everywhere. And on September 12th and 13th and 14th, once we realized what had actually happened, my memory was how patriotic this country had become.
As we were leaving at the end of the day, I got off the air at 2 o'clock, stayed around for a while. Everything was pretty empty downtown because everybody had left. And I was walking out to get to my car, and as I'm walking down by the Federal Building, which was surrounded by personnel, there was a little diner across the street, and a woman came out and yelled across to the policemen, the agents that were there, and said, "Can we get you a sandwich? Can we get you some coffee before we end up closing up?" It was community, just sort of, you know, like we're brothers and sisters in all this, and just needed to help each other out where we could.